And we just had like a whole suite of things appear that we just talked about. Everything from ballast management to, okay, so if you put your input in, this is like a word cloud, right? So it's going to show emphasis for what is the most important. So we're just curious, trying to take the temperature here in the room. And those of you that aren't playing, why are you not playing? And folks online, hopefully you're doing this too. All you have to do is go to menti.com, put in the code. So watercraft is still rising to the surface. So, and I think that's abundantly clear too. I mean, we are dealing with a giant geographic space here, right? Between these two panels. So that we are just trying to, kind of bridge that gap and see, where the emphasis is and differences across this huge landscape. Okay, still watercraft. Someone's just like dumping watercraft into all.
Oh, there's 72 people on here.
Well, there's 36 people online. There's 36 people online. Okay, so we're gonna go to our next slide. Oh, how do we hide this? I don't want this here. I don't understand where to hide it. Okay. What pathway do you wish you could work more? Now I'm gonna let you can be the speaker if you want. Sorry, it's gonna be yelling. You get to vote here.
All right, we're voting. What pathway do you wish you could work more on?
So this is different than your priority. Something you want to work more on.
Online sales, equipment and infrastructure, global trade, something else.
Yeah, we know it's the best.
Oh.
So someone that put in an other, would you verbalize into the room what it is?
It's not anonymous anymore.
If you are willing to share. Yes, you're right. It's not anonymous. You don't want to share? Okay. They might be people that are not in the room.
That was me.
Oh.
Chris. I was just putting things in order. That was my last one because I didn't have another.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, keep going.
Yeah.
We have several of these here.
All right. So what strategies can be used to better engage with enforcement?
Is this a word solve? I think word is great. No, I think this is type answers.
Okay, funding, communication.
Keyword strategy. What are strategies? Donuts.
Cross training is a good one. All of them are good ones. Guns. Money, a lot of money, beer, more guns. What is going on? Leadership support, cross training again. So lots of training, money, guns, apparently. What's BOLO training?
Oh.
All right, we're gonna
Be on the lookout.
go forward again. All right, what pathways would benefit most from more funding? Let's elaborate on all. Trade, pet release, biofouling, everything. Lots of trade, online sales.
Oh, I like that. Employee recognition's good.
Great. More money, more problems, I guess. Do you know what that is? All right.
I can go for you.
You guys are getting rowdy. On to the next one. All right, here's a brainstorming activity. What are other vectors that keep you up at night? Teenagers. Beer. We're almost there. Humans. Noisy AC. Ben, is that you with your bat in your room?
People, really, answer.
All right, we got 10 minutes. Let's finish strong and then we can have beer and wine. All right, let's think AIS vectors that keep you up at night.
We weren't explicit enough, Tom, and it's a sign of this, like, the wording here. Humans are just really rising to the.
Fantasy football. Do better. Cats do keep you up at night.
And they are an invasive species,
Yeah.
right? Let's be honest.
All right.
See.
We're moving on. What are concrete actions that we can take to work together to address pathways? I know it's the end of the day and your brain is tired, but there's more.
Working together is collaboration is another word for working together. So let's find a concrete action.
I'm seeing a lot of words that are in the question.
Homogenize regulations.
Engaging law enforcement to the Capitol. Using the same message. Creating easy communication channels. Lots of consistent same messaging. Bubbles. Silos. Breaking silos, not having silos. Oh,
Not one.
all right. One shared Canva Pro account. That's actually good for sharing materials.
So someone did say to coordinate the panels to work together on a common issue. Great. What would that common issue be if you had a suggestion?
Wow, we went after dark there. All right. Oh,
So
that's it. You guys did great today.
Are we gonna do this session?
well, I guess we are gonna. I think the goal though with this, if there is an activity or an action that between the two panels that could be honestly suggested right now, I think then everybody would welcome that, like leadership wise. So I don't know.
Lots of good conversation.
Yes, and
Yeah.
So I know WRP and Great Lakes panel has talked about this, but I think it kind of rolls into call before you all, but just this idea, movement of watercraft, docks, lifts and all that kind of stuff from MRBP or Mississippi River Basin, Great Lakes River Basin to the west, seems like something we could all work on together. I really dislike the idea of a really dirty boat lift from Missouri or wherever it was. And then, sorry, the YMC coordinator having to spend like weeks cleaning it. That seems absurd. Thank you for doing that. But there's gotta be a better way to do something like that. And I don't know what kind of maybe interjurisdictional funding could exist to help make it so more of these resources to help clean and decontaminate boats are available in the middle of the country, so that way you all have to deal with less.
A great idea.
So one of the things that's been, that is going to keep me up tonight is that the college just sent me information on a mobile dry dock unit that just came into the Port of Everett. And we have no idea whether it was cleaned before it left San Diego. There's just this paucity of information and no real framework that's cross-jurisdictional that says who to talk to and when to talk to them about these kinds of things. Biofouling in particular is one of those sticky situations, and one of those situations where there's not a lot of regulatory language anywhere outside of California right now. I think it lines up with this problem of this floating infrastructure that also is moving inland, obviously, and it seems like there's common language or harmonized language that might be developed as states start to take on the biofouling issue, both in inland waters and in marine waters. I know also the coastal committee, one of our subcommittees, is working on a white paper for mobile marine infrastructure risks associated with large pieces of mobile marine infrastructure that would be very much like this dry dock. So it's moving to Everett now. Other comments?
I guess, one of my takeaways for today is we spent a lot of time and energy and research on education and outreach, and then to hear from an actual enforcement person how people receive that and then just turn around and keep violating. We certainly don't have that sort of law enforcement support in the state here. I don't know what it's like in other states, but I think that's probably a shared balance with many states in this country. I don't know how law enforcement people organize and normalize across different states what priorities are. I'm sure all of our law enforcement agents love to see a spotlight at night and want to go write that ticket. But it'd be really nice if they all knew that other states were also prioritizing boat club tickets or just really basic AIS regulation enforcement. So I'm guessing that's very much a shared need across this group.
Sorry.
Good comment. It's across the finish line there.
Well, to build off of what Chris talked about, the Great Lakes panel has a good model for bringing AIS people and law enforcement people together. I think in 2022, they hosted a symposium that ended up being virtual, but that brought both groups together from like Great Lakes Fishery Commission, law enforcement working group, and AIS coordinators. It was just a really good couple of days of information sharing to learn about how each other function and kind of collaborate better moving forward. So maybe there's both ways to learn from what's been done in the Great Lakes region, but then also figure out what your all unique constraints are. So you have law enforcement and AIS work together.
I'm really interested in hearing more from social scientists on that, like this perception of social pressure. You know, when you think nobody else is following the rules, why should you? I'm wondering if sort of the law enforcement officer that we've heard from, you know, if that's more common in the bait and aquarium trade, it's more common in certain angler communities. What are people's experience? I'm interested in hearing from everybody, but particularly from social scientists on this.
Can I just comment on that quickly? I know that was about bait, but that's what we've seen with the watercraft, the boater surveys too, is the number one barrier to action is, the voters tell us that they don't see other people doing it, that nobody else is doing it, why should they? That's the number one barrier. I don't see my peers doing it, and but secondarily, they don't either have the tools or know how. So that normalization is huge. Not just for bait, not just for anything, but for boaters, and for all the other factors. It's a really big topic, we gotta figure out a way to get around.
Sarah's gonna have the last word here, everybody. Sarah?
So, not everybody has to do what I stand up, but one thing that we do at events with folks in person is when we meet people who always say like, oh, I always think I right, make sure I always do it. We always say like, if you wanna up your game, wanna up your think right game, get some bonus points. Next time you're at a boat launch, you see somebody else doing it, just walk up, take a second and say thank you for helping protect our waters, make it a happy experience. Don't walk up to somebody who's not going to yell at them. If you see somebody else doing it. That's all we did to it. It's like when somebody compliments your jacket, it's your whole day. So
Okay, I think we did it. We're gonna call it a day. We do have a social hour that is hosted by TV3 just outside here. I believe we restart tomorrow morning at 8:30. 8:30. We got 30 minutes, Dennis, 30 extra minutes. See you, everybody.
Yeah, one is that moves is needed here, I'll just talk about it here. Other next.
It's like, well, I don't know, over here. But